Greetings and welcome to Eye Care Leadership Live. This is the podcast for eye care leaders who want to level up their leadership, create better cultures, and improve the financial results of their clinics. Now, let's join the show. Welcome to the show, Dr. Melissa Barnett.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you chatting with me and everybody that's watching us live out in LinkedIn land. You can comment and we'll see your comments and we can respond to them. So if you just want to say hi to Dr. Barnett, or if you want to ask her a question, this is a great time to do that. Or if you just want to say how awesome she is and you're such a huge fan, then now's a great time to do that. And you can do that anytime while we're here on LinkedIn. But I'm truly grateful to have you on the show because number one, you're in eye care and you're just everywhere. You're so giving of your knowledge, and so I'm excited to kind of dig into what drives you and what's got you excited. And so maybe let's just start with that. Like, what is it that you're up to these days, and why are you driven to do that?
Well, thank you, first of all, for all the kind comments. And hi, everyone out there. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. I know it's such a busy time. So to answer your question, there's so much that's exciting. So in eye care, let's start there. I am an optometrist practicing 25 years. And in eye care, it's such a super exciting time. So we have new technologies, new advancements. My specialties are in dry eye and specialty contact lenses, keratoconus, and presbyopia. So much there. But what's really exciting now is that I am a professional credentialed coach. So I'm a life coach in addition to an eye doctor. And that has been giving me so much joy. And what I love about it is giving back. So really giving back to the profession and giving back to people, being able to partner with people to set goals and achieve their goals, and not just people, organizations as well. So it is so fulfilling. It is so exciting. And it's a great start. Oh, we didn't even start. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We can still say that, right?
Too, for sure. Yeah, this is a great time to be having a conversation about goals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, with that, maybe that's a great place to kind of start. It is a new year. We're recording this on January 8th, and you help practices and eye care providers to set goals, to have a vision, create clarity. And what kinds of questions do you typically get, or problems maybe that are kind of presented to you in your coaching work?
Sure. So many questions, right? But let's highlight a few of the most common ones. So when we talk about coaching, I always think of it as life coaching. It's work and life. They all go hand in hand. So things that come up often are burnout. Burnout is highly prevalent right now in eye care. It's highly prevalent in so many different professions, and how to overcome burnout. So how to work with mindset, how to get into routines like exercising, for example, in the morning or the evening, going on a walk, how to incorporate different things like mindfulness. But also a lot goes into sort of the business of eye care too, how to increase efficiencies, how to include a specialty in your practice, like specialty contact lens or dry eye, how to talk to staff, and how to work together as a team. That comes up a lot. Delegation is a big one too. So there are a lot of different topics, but what I love about the coaching that's so rewarding is actually seeing the transformation and seeing the change. And in so many heartwarming stories, even this week, of people getting new jobs, of saying that a transition or change was life-changing for their practice. That is just really wonderful.
Yeah, it doesn't get too much better than that. I'm wondering, maybe many years ago when you were starting your optometry journey, you may not have imagined that you would be doing what you're doing right now in the world of coaching. Was this something that came upon you gradually, or did you have like a boom, like an aha moment where you said, I gotta share this?
Oh, that's a great question. So, practicing 25 years, I've done mentoring for the most of those years as well.
Okay.
And the mentoring got me into a few different formal mentoring programs of mentoring people in and outside of eye care. And that's what introduced me to coaching. So it was sort of a natural progression. It was one conversation, particularly that I remember saying, when I was talking about the different types of coaching. So the coaching that I do is with the International Coaching Federation, and I'm a credentialed coach. And so it's a very rigorous process actually to become a coach. And I remember having this conversation like, you should go down that path. And I said, that sounds great. I'm all about really doing no harm, creating the best and taking the best, eh, helping people get the best out of them and having the best lives. So that was a very specific conversation, and it's been a wonderful journey. I'm so grateful, and you're exactly right that I never, ever could have expected this many years ago.
I'm wondering, since you have so much experience, you talked about mentoring and now you're an ICF certified coach. First of all, what is the difference? And is there a difference between mentoring and coaching in your mind? And if I'm a clinician or a practice administrator in optometry, ophthalmology, and maybe I want to mentor my team or coach them, like what's one or two things that I could begin to implement to be more effective to do that?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and answer all the questions as
Okay,
best
I'm,
I
I'm
can one
sorry.
at a time, 'cause let me know. But again, great question. So coaching is really partnering with people to define and achieve goals, versus something like consulting, which would be sharing information, or mentoring, providing an opinion. Coaching is not therapy. So if there's any prior trauma, that should be taken care of prior to coaching, or sometimes alongside too. But great questions there. And for those who are looking for mentorship is so valuable. I have so many mentors. Thank you, all of you out there over the years that I'm still in touch with. You know who you are. So many mentors who have helped me. And I think it's wonderful to have mentors and be a mentee all at the same
Mm,
time, because we can all help others. Whatever stage of life we're in, we can definitely be mentors. But to answer your question about some specific things, so it really depends. One is communication with your team.
mm,
So how do you communicate? And the team could be your practice, your staff. It could be technicians. It could be other doctors. It could, the team could be defined per the individual. But effective communication is really important. So starting with yourself, right? And when I talk about my coaching style, it's mindful leadership, wellness, and effective communication. The mindful leadership really starts with yourself. How are you as a person? How are you leading yourself? And how are you taking care of yourself, which is the wellness part, in
mm,
order to take care of your team? So I think it's also very important to be human and to
mm.
have empathy when you are talking to others, and also with a team to have some fun. I mean, it's great to have fun. You can make a joke, you can incorporate fun into your work, and that really helps with team bonding.
Okay. Love the self-care. I'm a huge advocate of that. And I love that you kind of put that at the center. You've got to take care of yourself first, to be able to be a good mentor and a coach. You really have to be able to do that. As you're going through your journey, you decided to kind of create your own business out of this. What was the driver behind that of saying, hey, I want to create a whole business around it? Because you could have stayed and I'm mentoring and I'm giving advice, but no, I'm going to put myself out there, and put it on LinkedIn, and I'm going to create a website, and that's not a small thing, right? And so what kind of went into that thought?
Yes. So going through the coaching program and my obtaining my certification, and it took me a while actually to identify as a coach.
Mm,
And because I've been an eye doctor all these years. And so now I have this other identity as well as being a coach. So and then I just fully embraced it. So
mm,
even though it took a bit of time during the program, once I embraced it, like everything else I do, I'm all in. So I thought, how can I really help the most people? And and there are still people out there who have no idea that I'm coaching. So
mm.
that's why we're talking today, right?
That's right.
Uh,
Getting the
they
word out.
they don't know me as a coach. They know me as a doctor. So I thought that in order to be most effective and help the most people,
Yeah.
that's why I started the company Alpine Blue Coaching.
Okay. When I looked at some of your content that you've put out, I saw a lot of talk about clarity and vision, and those have to be critical, right? In business, personally, if you own a practice, or even personally, in your career, you kind of have to know where you're going. And now we are at the beginning of a year, new year. What advice would you give to someone who's kind of saying, "Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what my future is. I don't know where I want to go. I don't have clarity." Is there something that someone can do to try to uncover that?
Sure. Well, coaching is always an option, and but you don't have to have a coach.
Mm,
Having a person to talk to is one option. Some people find that journaling is very helpful. Reflection is another great option. So going for a walk, thinking about things, setting goals, writing them down, identifying values, your own values, and living by those values is something else. There are a lot of also a lot of great resources out there that talk about different priorities in your life. So that's also another thing. So it's really, I love the clarity because it has the eye care and the coaching aspect of it, right? Right. I'm kind
yeah,
of an eye nerd too.
yeah.
And so it's great to have, there's a lot of different resources. Some people like to do it individually, some people like to do it with a person or a group, but there's really a lot out there in order to define your goals and knowing what your values are in order to define the goals and then achieve the goals.
Okay. Now you mentioned going for a walk, and so I have to mention you recently posted a picture on LinkedIn about a bike trip. I guess you went on
Yep,
a bike trip in Portugal or Spain?
both.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna put that picture up here on the screen.
Oh. Well, that's super fun that you can
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Yes, so we rode for 6 days straight from Portugal to Spain, so
Mm,
these are 10-hour days,
wow.
and this is the Camino, so a lot of people walk the Camino,
Mm,
and which is amazing, and I definitely wanna go back and hike it. But we decided to ride bikes, and because we thought we wanted to that's so neat. Wow, you can do
Find
that.
something different here.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
It was an incredible experience. It was the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, and it was so physically challenging because you can't really tell in this picture, but it was so mountainous,
Mm,
so steep. The elevation was crazy, and it was also during the heat wave last summer. It was really, really hot,
mm.
and then there were headwinds the whole time too. So we were riding, but then with the headwinds, because it was so windy, it was even more difficult. So
Uh,
it was so physically challenging, but I love bike riding. I think it's so fun that it became a mindset.
mm,
It's all about mindset because when after day 1, everything hurts, you just
Mm,
keep going, and it was the most incredible experience. I recommend everyone do it in your lifetime. Put it
mm,
on that list, like, it was incredible. I definitely wanna go back. There are 3 different routes, so you can go from Portugal, from France, or from Spain. I definitely wanna go back and hike it, the same
mm,
route, and we met all sorts of wonderful people, and we learned that if you hike it, there are things like buses and trains that you could take, so you don't actually have to do every single mile if you don't
mm.
want to.
Sign me up on that right there.
And there are lots of supported trips, so we took all of our belongings from one place to another, but
Mhm.
there are lots of companies that if you want, they can take your bag from one place to the other,
Mm.
and there are also e-bikes that we did not have to. So,
Ooh, now I'm intrigued.
yeah.
I'm wondering, yeah, we talked about clarity. I know for me, if I get away, I might leave an experience like that with some new thoughts and some new perspectives on my business or family or career or something. Was that the case for you after completing the Camino experience?
Yes, I think with anything, if you have a lot of time to think and be in a quiet space and think, so that could be anywhere really, or doing something like riding a bike for 6 days, 10 hours a day, yes. So it definitely helped clarify goals and moving forward. So, so far so good. It's been
Mhm.
a great time since then. That
Yeah.
was about 6 months ago.
Okay, cool.
This show is sponsored by Seasoned Advice HR Services, where I help eye care businesses to make more money and save more money by hiring better, retaining better, and reducing your HR risk. If you would like an HR assessment or ongoing HR support, please reach out to me at seasoned-advice.com.
Well, I want to try something that I occasionally do here on the show, and I call it the speed round.
Ooh.
And during the speed round, what I do is I will give you a hot topic or a trend or maybe a technique that might be popular, and you tell me if it's hot, you can go thumbs up, or if it's not, or if it's kind of in the middle. And these all kind of relate to success or mindset or clarity or goal setting or something like that. So, are you game for that?
Okay, let's give it a try.
Okay, and if anyone's listening here and they want to share their comments about these, I welcome that as well. Okay, so the first one is getting good sleep.
Oh, uh,
2 thumbs
how
up.
how
If not,
I wanna give more than 2 thumbs up.
oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay, and we can come back on these topics too if you want
Oh,
to double click on anything.
okay,
The
yes.
second one is meditation.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Meditation. Okay. What about fake it till you make it?
No, I'm supposed to do thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Okay, your
Well
thumbs
well,
down.
it can I give an
Yeah, you can
explanation
give
or
some
okay,
editorializing.
some editorial, it depends. It depends
Okay.
on the circumstance on that one.
Okay, it depends.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. What about affirmations? Using affirmations for
Yes,
yourself.
I think some people are very, very much like affirmations.
Okay. And then last one, this is kind of an older one, but I still hear it. The big, hairy, audacious goals.
The BHAG,
The
sure, go for
BHAGs.
it. Yep, mhm.
Two thumbs up on BHAGs.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
very
yep.
good. They still work. Okay, cool. Yeah, anything from the speed round that kind of jumped out at you?
Oh, sure, yes, let's start with sleep. So,
Mm.
sleep is actually one of my hobbies, like, I love
It's been
sleep so
eight
much.
hours a day. So
I do call it a hobby and it's true, but getting a good foundational sleep, right, that helps everything when we talk about self-care. It's not only exercise, it's sleep, it's drinking enough water, it's having a healthy diet, but sleep is so incredibly important.
mm,
And I always like to think, like, professional athletes use sleep as a technique to improve. So, yep, huge fan of sleep.
Okay, awesome. Likewise, although I probably don't get enough of it. I'm curious about, coaching. So you've been involved with coaching here for a while. We talked about mentoring and coaching a little bit, but what does it look like to work with a coach? I think that's probably an obstacle that a lot of people might have. They might think, I don't want to have to get vulnerable, or I don't like it when somebody tells me what to do. I'm real independent. What are some of those barriers that people have when they think about working with a coach? And then what is it actually like to work with a coach?
Oh, I think that's interesting, some of the barriers that you brought up. So, the second one, let's start there, is that coaching is partnering. So you're not told what to do at all. It's really helping you find within yourself, because you know within yourself, and finding within yourself what you want to do. So that's one thing. I think there a lot of people don't know about coaching. They don't know how a coach can help. I find that people who are actually doing quite well are those who reach out for coaching to do even better. And
Mm,
so they've already done a lot of inner work. They might have done therapy. They've reached a point maybe in their career, for example, where they're doing quite well, but they want more. Or it's
mm,
not quite the right fit. Or they want to see if they can reach that goal, whatever it might be.
mm,
So I think some people think that coaching is scary or something like that too. Like, I don't know
mm,
how to do it. I don't know how it can help me, but it's not scary. It's
mm.
actually it can be very deep work. So yes, there is vulnerability involved for sure. But the ICF coaching method is very Uh, everything is very ethical, nothing is shared. It's
Mm.
all in the best interest of the person. So it's not scary, it's just wonderful. The wonderful thing also about being a coach is doing a lot of reciprocal coaching. And so I've gotten a lot of coaching, which has been wonderful for clarity.
Hmm. You know, it looks like you spend a lot of your time in coaching working with women.
Mm.
I'm wondering what unique issues you see working with women providers, business owners, that tends to come up that maybe you don't think that men struggle with as much, and what are techniques that help to overcome that?
Sure. So there are a few things. One is burnout, which is just incredibly prevalent, both men and women. I would say I don't think that's any different. But women oftentimes take on everything, take on all the roles. So at home, making the kids' lunches, for example, making dinner, doing all the different things, that buying the birthday present, whatever it might be, and at work doing everything as well, whether you're a business owner or not. And so it's just the amount of things that is a little bit different. So some of it is delegation, and this isn't any different for men or women or anyone, but it's delegating. There are tasks that can be delegated, and there are some things that cannot be delegated. And really I found that to be extremely helpful with my clients, is what can be delegated to give you more time for yourself and the other people around you too, whether that's at work or at
Mm,
home. So that's a big one. Imposter syndrome, that's huge.
mm,
And I do think that that is a bit different for women compared to men. So we all have imposter syndrome at some point in time. And it's, how do we really identify it, name it? Like Brene Brown says, name it to tame it. Like, name it, it's here. This is the situation. And then there are multiple strategies in order to really reduce the imposter syndrome and to be aware of it and then know actually how to reduce it. It might not go away completely, but how to really just tame it so it's not at the forefront there.
Mhm.
I can go on and
Yeah.
we could spend all day here, but it's wonderful. I'll just share a few stories, but it's just wonderful having clients tell me that these techniques of coaching in eye care are life changing. Like, this is life changing. You've changed my life from
Mhm.
teaching me this thing. And some of it, and my coaching is a bit of mentoring too in eye care because of all the experience I've had. And so I understand eye care. Like, I've lived in
Mhm.
this, right, for 25 years. And so I really understand the ins and outs. And sometimes it's having that outside perspective of, and it's asking, could this be done a different way? Could it be done a different way? How does this work in your clinic? It might be completely different than my clinic. It might, and coaching is also putting things out there, putting out different perspectives. Maybe it's looking at this problem a different way. And so oftentimes that really solves the problem, or maybe it isn't a problem, it's a perceived problem, and then helping people move forward. So hearing these words, another one is just a complete new job, new life, new everything from coaching, and and being able to lecture. Never lectured before, on the big stage lecturing. So, oh, so many heartwarming
Mhm.
stories. I love it.
Yeah, I can tell that you get so excited
Thank
about
you.
the work that you're doing. I'm curious, what's coming up next for you? What is the future of what you're doing? We talked about a project you're about to undertake here in the next 24 hours,
Yeah.
and so tell us about that, and then maybe like other things you're planning in the coaching and the speaking and all of that.
Oh, sure. So my boys and I, two boys, they're 17 and 19. We are going with VOSH, so Volunteer Optometric Services to Humanity, to Nicaragua, just right after this podcast. So yeah, we're all ready to go, and we're really excited to serve and help a few thousand people along with a great group who is going. So yes, that is going on today. And with coaching, it's been fantastic. So I offer group coaching programs, individual coaching, and also coaching to organizations as well. So it's going to be a great year. And then as far as speaking goes, lots of great things coming up this year too. Yeah, I'm in Arizona a lot.
Okay, Arizona. Fine.
Do you live in the Arizona area? Phoenix and Scottsdale? I think I'm there 6 times this year, so come say hi. Yep.
Wonderful. Well, I'm honored that you joined me here for Eye Care Leadership Live. And, how can people get in touch with you if they want to work with you or just learn more about you?
Yes, well, please stay in touch. Definitely. I would love to hear from you. So, all the socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Alpine Blue Coaching, and alpinebluecoaching.info is the website. So, yes,
Yeah.
please stay in touch.
Yeah, and I'll put some of those links in the show notes for the show.
Thank you.
So that'll make it easy for people to track you down. But thank you so much, Dr. Barnett, for joining me today. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your passion with me.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so much fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, I look forward to staying connected with you. And to everybody else that's out there listening, please reach out to Dr. Barnett. Follow me, follow her. We're both very passionate about sharing, ways to make your practice better. And so, with that, y'all have a great night, and Dr. Barnett, have a wonderful trip.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Well, that brings this episode of Eye Care Leadership Live to a conclusion. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the show on your podcast app and share it with someone who would value the content. I promise to bring you more guests and content to help make you a better eye care clinical leader. I also invite you to subscribe to my HR newsletter for eye care leaders. You can find information about that at seasoned-advice.com. Now go out there and lead with confidence.